Hello, my name's Caldrin. Today we're going to take another look at World of Sea Battle. Now, I've been playing this for a good few weeks with a few friends of mine. We set up our own clan, and we're doing okay. We've made a bit of money, and I just wanted to set up a little bit of a guide, I guess, for brand new players of how to start making money in the game. Now, this is going to be no good for people who've been playing the game for a long time. They're going to know all this, probably know more than this as well. But it's just really aimed at people that are just starting out and just want to know the different ways they can make money. And for sure, if I get anything wrong here to the veterans of this game, please leave a comment below explaining what I did wrong, because, I'm still brand new to this game as well. Or, of course, if you got any other suggestions about making money in the game, or links to other resources, again, please just leave a comment. We'll start with a quick one. You get wrecks and stuff like this floating around in the ocean. Loot them. They got good resources for you, especially starting out, and will allow you to make a bit of extra cash as well from selling the resources or whatever you find. And then we have fishing. You'll see little fishing areas in the ocean as you go around. You just hover above them and just hold down space and you'll start fishing. If you got the fishing tackles on you, you'll actually get more than what I'm getting here. And it's not really a way of making money as such, but it's certainly a way of saving money. You see on the map, you'll see little icons or little bags on the land. Now, sometimes these will be fishing villages, other times they'll be merchants at sea. But basically, you can trade the fish you get for other products at these locations that we'll have a look at now. You just sail up to them, you just hit space to enter, like anything else in the game. Now here you can see they're actually selling canvas for fish, so 11 fish per canvas. Now canvas is a crafting resource used for crafting boats, and it can be quite expensive to craft yourself, so these kind of deals are pretty good. And you can also see here that they're selling wood and fabric at a really good price. So it's definitely worth checking these fishing villages out, and merchants at sea as well, for what deals they got and what you can exchange fish for. It's not going to make you rich, but it's definitely going to save you some time and money. The next thing we'll look at here is the personal island. Now, personal islands are islands you own and you can build up yourself. It's good to find a good place early on to do this, because the higher you level up, the more it costs for you to develop the island. But make sure you get it in a good location. Then you have mining sites scattered around the world, where you can automatically mine resources over time. Now, the best location for these is in the center PvP area, because they produce resources a lot faster. Now, you can build a building on your personal island that automatically collects resources from the mines. And as default, I think you can have 2, and then there's a skill that increases it to 4, and then to 6, and then there's the final skill here that goes to 8. Now, they all cost skill points and money, so it's up to you if you want to have more mines or not. Now, early on, you're probably not going to make too much money from this, but you can use the resources to craft early boats or turn those resources into products that you can sell on the market. But I think there's other ways to get resources faster than this. But it's worth having in the background. And now we're going to get on to, I guess, one of the easier ways to make money, but time consuming, and that is trading. Basically, the way the trade system works in this game is that each town will have a certain amount of trade goods, and I think they refresh every couple of days for you. And there's a way of actually trading in this game. It's basically, you work your way around the map in an anti-clockwise direction. So you'll buy stuff up north, and you'll go basically southwest to where there's a few towns to sell it. Then you'll buy goods there, and then you'll go to some of these southeastern towns to sell those products there, and then from those towns back up north to sell again. It's just a big circle, and if you hit the wind right and don't mess up or don't get into any battles and stuff like that, you can do it pretty fast. It probably takes about an hour to go around the entire map. And depending on the size of your ship, you can make quite a sizable chunk of cash. Sorry to jump into a spreadsheet here, but this is basically a spreadsheet that's available online that I'll link below. This isn't my work. This is all done by other guilds in the game, and basically gives you a breakdown of where the best places to buy certain resources and where the best place to sell them is. And as you can see at the bottom, it's got a little legend down here that just tells you what each location is. So you got the northern regions, the western regions, and the southern regions. And then you got two others, which are the starting area, basically, in the center of the map, which you just basically ignore for trading because you can't make any money there. But yeah, if you like trading in games, then it's worth checking this out. It's not super in-depth, tell you the truth. It's just literally moving goods from always in the same area to the same area to the same area in a big circle. So it's easy enough to do, and if you've got a bit of downtime, you can just kind of semi-AFK do it to make some money in the background. It's worth doing, and you can make a lot of money to start out with, even with a small trading ship. But I would always go around the world in a circle rather than going through the PvP zone, unless you're okay with that kind of thing, because you do risk, obviously, losing your cargo if you do get sunk. When I say lose your cargo, it's a percentage rate. You don't lose everything, but you can lose a bit of it. It's the same when you get sunk by NPC ships as well. So just be aware of that when you are going around the world. You can't fully AFK because you've got to dodge any fights that you potentially going to get into. But yeah, I would say even early on, trading is a good option for making a bit of cash. And if you basically run with this spreadsheet, you know where to buy stuff, you know where to sell stuff, you should be good. And you don't need to do the full circle. You could just do kind of west to south, and you'll make decent money just doing that. But obviously the full circle is going to make you the best profit. Now, probably the best way of making money is by looting ships. Now, even when starting out, just attack everything you can, even trade ships, because they have a lot of resources that you can loot. You might get attacked by bounty hunters from doing it, but, you know, again, they're just more money to make. You just got to be careful and just make sure you run back to port if you need to. The trade ships are a great target, but then even better are these cannon transports, okay? So these are got two good things on them. They got a chance of you getting cannons that can sell for really good money, and they also give you pirate tokens that you can use later on in game, as well as dropping other resources. So, as I said, it's worth attacking every ship you can. Trade ships will basically, you get hit by like a negative effect that'll allow a NPC bounty hunter to attack you as well. So just be aware of your health and stuff like that if you do get an alert about a bounty hunter, but it's all money at the end of the day. So as well as trading ships and pirate ships carrying cannons, there's also other special ships that have pirate tokens, and they'll also drop other resources as well. Now, pirate tokens are good because you can use them to buy cannons later on in the game when you go to pirate towns. So you could use the tokens to buy the cannons and sell the cannons, or use the cannons yourself. But yeah, again, these ships with stars on, they're definitely worth targeting. And even if there's other players attacking, as long as you get your hits in, you'll get loot from it as well. And also XP, of course. And then finally, you get these, early on anyway, you'll get these Imperial ships that you can attack. Now, these tend to be a bit harder, but these have a lot of good resources, as well as escudos and blueprints. Now, escudos and blueprints do sell for decent money, but they're basically used for building these Imperial ships later on, if that's what you want to get into. If you're not interested in the Imperial ships, then sell it up and make some money. But yeah, killing ships, taking resources, and selling those resources is very good for you. And you can actually see on the map where certain ships are as well, close by. As you can see here, these are showing me where there's pirate ships that are transporting cannons. So you can have a look on the map and go, hey, you know, there's a special ship here, and just make your way there and attack it and sink it and take the loot. Because, yeah, cannons, especially early on, will make you a hell of a lot of money selling on the player auction. We'll have a look at the player auction now. But again, any kind of loot you get here, you can turn resources into crafting items that you can then sell on the auction as well. But yeah, the player auction here is the way to make money. So as you can see here, you've got an auction with players in the market. I've got some beams listed, so I've crafted some beams and I've put them up for sale. Now, you'll have to kind of deal with people undercutting you all the time, but they will eventually sell. So what I would say to start out with, any kind of resources that you gather from looting ships while you're leveling up, turn them into crafting resources like beams and canvases and pop them up for sale. And they will sell, and they'll sell pretty fast as well. But like I said, you just got to watch out for people undercutting you, so you can undercut them instead. But once you start farming ships, especially the merchant ships, you'll end up getting so much loot that you can just make these resources and just sell them on. And yeah, you'll need these resources to build your own ships, but you also need money as you're leveling up, so it's worth doing that first. And then, as I mentioned, you got cannons. Now, you'll loot lots of different types of cannons from these cannon ships, and it's worth checking the prices on. Now, some sell for a lot of money, and it's worth just popping them up and just selling them. Others don't sell so much, so it might be good to smelt them down into resources that you can then either use or sell on. So some like these basilisks, Zeus or Zeuses, are worth just breaking down. They're not worth selling. But as you can see, you can actually get some special weapons later on that are worth a hell of a lot of money. But I don't think you get those from the cannon ships. It's mostly you'll get these the twin 6-pounders, the triple pounders, and some of the specialist big cannons as well that you won't need to use until much later in the game anyway. So it's definitely worth selling when you first get them. And it's how I made basically all my money when I first started playing was from cannon ships. Just to be aware, when you are listing stuff on your auction, there is a tax that you have to pay up front. This port has 8% tax, for instance. Other ports, I think, have different tax rates. So be aware when you're listing an item, especially expensive items, because you'll have to pay that up front. And here you can see where you get the special escudos and other special kind of coin things that you can actually sell on if you don't want to keep them. It can be a good way of making money early on as well. So it's totally up to you. You will need the battle marks later for sure. And the escudos and voodoo skulls and so on, they're for end game stuff really. So you can sell them early on and then get more later when you're into the game. And the only other thing in the auction house, I guess, are ships. Now, your early ships aren't going to be worth much, so it's probably not worth selling them. The rank 7 ships and so on. Probably worth just breaking them up for resources. But yeah, the higher you get, you can sell ships for a decent chunk of money. They never kind of depreciate. So if you don't need a ship anymore, definitely list it on the auction house. But again, remember that tax you got to pay up front. So yeah, those are the kind of, I guess, the ways of making money when you first start off in the game. It's hard work getting into this. There is a big grind to this game, I won't lie. It's probably worth at least setting up a sub so you get the extra XP and loot. If you really get into the game, that's for sure. So yeah, of all the things I've gone over, wrecks, flotsam, personal islands and mines, fishing, I think the best way of making money when you first start out is just attacking ships, looting the ships, turning those resources that you loot into crafting resources that you can then sell on the auction house. I think the most profitable, though, are definitely the cannon ships. Now, they're obviously a bit harder to fight, especially when you first start out. But if you've got a mate with you, just go out as a group and just sink them. They'll have a couple of escorts as well, but they're usually a bit smaller than the main ship. But as long as you're careful, you can end up with some great loot that you can sell for a lot of money. Now, I'm sure there's many other ways of making good money in this game. But these are the kind of methods that I used when I first started out over the last few weeks. And I'm mainly still doing it now. But yeah, I know for a fact some of the veterans, they know how to make the real money. But you got to get to the end game. You got to get the bigger ships for that. But starting out, I think these are probably the best options. But yeah, if anyone's got any other tips or anything like that, please feel free to post it in the comments section here. Even links to other YouTube channels. I got no issues with that at all. I just do these videos to help people out. But hopefully I've covered, all the basics with this. And yes, it is very basics and definitely designed for people who are brand new to the game. just to give them an idea of what direction to go in. But if you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribe. And even leave a comment as well. It all helps with the YouTube side of things. But thanks again, and I'll see you all in the next video.